take some questions.
Well, obviously, we're going to Philadelphia to play the defending national champions, and it's a pretty interesting game. I mean, you've got the last two FCS national champions, and it looks to be a great game. I mean, Villanova is a very solid team, very talented. Whether they have Matt Caesar or not, it's they're the defending national champions, and you can definitely look on video and see why. So we look forward to taking our team to Philadelphia and having a great day.
All right, thank you. Question.
Latrell, your team's run the ball really well here in the last few weeks. I wonder if you're really concerned going to Villanova given their defensive prowess in that area.
Well, obviously you have to be. I think they have some of the best linebackers in the conference, and if not the country. And we're going to have to do some things in offense to make sure that they can just load up on us and not allow us to run the ball.
Is it possible for your Wildcat backs to throw the ball, just given the shoulder pad situation? Can they throw the ball?
No question. I mean, the shoulder pads aren't much different of that than a quarterback. And Jovan was a high school quarterback, so he does have the ability to throw.
You guys are obviously more comfortable with Montel than you were week one.
Mm-hmm.
But how much further along are you? Like, could you even give a percentage as to how much you've been able to increase your offensive options
Yeah.
from week to week? I mean, is it a lot better than you thought it might be after 2 weeks?
Well, I'll put it one way. I mean, the first week we threw it 6 times. The last week we threw it 10 times. So, that's a little bit better. But Montel's much more comfortable, than he was. I think he's 7 practices, into being a starting quarterback now, and he's adjusted to the team and gotten better on a weekly basis. By no means are we gonna come out and throw it 60 times, but he's more than capable of handling most of our offense right now.
Villanova's converted 46% of its third down chances, which is very impressive. Why? Why are they so good at that?
Well, I think it's because they do a really good job on first and second down. They do a great job staying on schedule. It's 4 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down, and they have manageable third downs.
Coach, one of the big things you had going for you during these last 2 weeks is you were a team that knows how to win. I mean, your guys have just done it and they know how to win. This is a team that you're playing now that also knows how to win. Can you sort of talk about that?
I think it'll be a great game. I mean, something's got to give. I mean, they're basically two hard-headed teams. Two teams that have got a bunch of seniors that have won a lot of football games. They've got a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, and so do we. This is a game that our fifth-year seniors, are really excited about because this is one of the few teams that these guys haven't mastered. It's been a while since we've beaten Villanova, and our fifth-year seniors are aware of that.
Coach, there's so many great rivalries that you guys have with other teams in the CAA, but what makes this rivalry different than the others?
Well, it's just, anytime you get the opportunity to play the team who was the best team in the country last year, I mean, obviously it gets you a little bit excited. And, for me as a coach, I think Andy Talley and, guys like Jimmy Laycock are guys that personify what this league is all about. And for me to have the opportunity to compete against Coach Talley, it's a big deal for me too.
Hey, Coach, what would you explain for the reason of the emergence of the running game? Is it that the running backs are getting more used to their roles, or is it the offensive line just coming together?
I think it's just out of necessity. But really I think our offensive line has gotten better each week, and our backs have gotten better each week. And, schematically we've just done some things to put these guys in situations to be successful. But obviously you have to credit Drew Lackenmeyer for being the leader of the offensive line, and some of our young guys for stepping up and making some plays. A lot of those guys that are on the offensive line weren't even projected to play this year. And you also have to give the backs credit. I mean, Tyler Kirchhoff, Jovan Smith, Kendall Gaskins, and Garrett Wilkins have all done a great job accepting their role and making plays for us when they had the opportunity.
You said that your fifth-year seniors haven't mastered Villanova yet, but by no means has it been one-sided. Even your losses have been very, very close. Is there ever – I don't want to use the word intimidation because I don't think any team would ever admit to being even slightly intimidated, but is there a feeling that when you go against this team, yeah, they're good, so are we, let's find that one or two things that have held us back the last couple of years?
I think it's just it's just football. I don't think there's any kind of intimidation factor. I don't think there's any one or two things to get us over the hump. We've just got to play a solid football game. I think the game came down to one or two plays last year. Obviously, they had a receiver that made a great play, so it's just us being on the end of making that play this year. I think the game will come down to the wire. I really do think you could take about 56 minutes off the clock, and I think this game will probably be decided in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Hey, Latrell, how much of a factor is Matt Caesar when he plays or when he doesn't play?
I've never seen him play live, obviously not being here the last 2 years, but if you watch him on the highlights, he's scary. I watched the games that he did play this year. He gives him a dynamic that most teams don't have. He can line up, in the Wildcat package, and you have to treat him like a quarterback. I think they're playing with a kid now that is going to run the ball more so than not. But he's a top player in this league, for a reason. And they're even though they're still talented, they're a little bit different without him because he is such a dynamic player.
In light of the physical problems the Spiders have encountered this season, how do you feel about 4-3?
We're disappointed. We're disappointed. Because we don't expect to be 4-3. We never started the season saying, guys, if we could just get to 4-3, we'd be excited about it. But this is a team that by no means do we feel like our season's over. We talk about not being satisfied. We talk about competing every week, and we talk about doing the things that are going to put us in the opportunity to have a possibility of playing in November. It's a series of one-game seasons for us, and these guys are just looking forward to going and playing Villanova.